Welcome to Animal Form and Function Biology 2371 for the summer of 2021. I'm Dr. Brent Burt, and I just wanted to make sure we get started off on the correct footing by going over the syllabus. So my contact information is on the top of the syllabus, and by the way, you can get a copy of the syllabus in D2L in the content section. So here's my contact information, the phone number, but be aware that in the summer I'm not going to be in my office, and so I will check this occasionally, but this will not be the best way to get in touch with me. By far the best way to get in touch with me is my SFA email, dbburt@sfasu.edu. You can also use the email link through D2L, but there are some problems in responding to that from my end, and so it's better to use this official SFA address. Because this is a asynchronous class, completely online, I'm not going to have official office hours. Instead, I'm certainly willing to answer any questions that you have over email, or if you want to set up an appointment where we can actually talk about things, I can set up a Zoom appointment. Happy to do that, but just email me to set that up. We will not have any official class meeting times or place, and so I'll explain how the course is going to run here in a moment. The textbook, Integrated Principles of Zoology, I think the 18th edition is the most current one, but really just about any of the past 2 to 3 editions will suffice, will be fine. Okay, the rest of this first section is just kind of some official gobbledygook that the university makes us put into our syllabus. It's probably not relevant to you. You can read it if you want. What you're most interested in is the course requirements and the grading policy. Again, this is an online course. The lectures will be posted online through YouTube, and I'll show you the links to those here in a minute. There will also be lecture notes in the form of PDFs, which will basically just be copies of the PowerPoint presentations I use in the lectures. It's really important when you're studying for the quizzes to have these notes in front of you as you're taking the quiz, and also as you're watching the lecture videos, because you need to add notes of extra things that I add in the lecture that might also show up on the quiz. So I definitely recommend you print off those PDFs and then have them available while you're watching the lecture notes on YouTube. Again, the textbook, it technically is required. You could probably get away without it. It's really just supporting material. If there's something in the lecture that I'm talking about you don't understand, or you want more information about, the textbook would be good for that. Otherwise, again, you can just contact me if you have any questions, and that should be fine. All of the information that is going to be on the quizzes will come from the lectures, though. So if you're watching the lectures, taking good notes, you should be fine. So I've been mentioning these quizzes. So how is the grade going to work in this class? We're just focusing on the lecture portion of the class here. But the final grade is going to be composed of the percentage of quizzes that you pass. So there are going to be 32 pass-fail assignments. One of those will be the syllabus quiz, which will basically be a very simple quiz where you have to get everything correct to demonstrate that you did watch this video on the syllabus. The lecture material will be broken up as evenly as I could in a summer class. In an 8-week class, I tried to disperse the material as evenly as possible. There will be 30 quizzes based on that information. Sometimes you will have, most of the time you'll just have 1 quiz a day. Sometimes you may have 2, and I think in one case you actually have 3 quizzes in a day. But that's just kind of how it works out, breaking the information down in a summer course. And then finally, at the end of the semester, you need to fill out the course evaluation. Just do it, and you'll get a pass for that, and so that will help your grade. Now, this obviously is just going to help determine what part of your class, what part of your grade is associated with the lecture portion of the grade. I'll talk a little bit more about the lab portion of the class later. So the quizzes that I'm talking about are going to be administered through D2L. So you'll log into D2L and you'll take the quizzes. Each quiz, except the syllabus quiz may be a little different, the other 30 quizzes, the lecture quizzes, will be composed of 10 questions, and you will have 30 seconds to answer each question. And you have to pass that quiz. And what do I mean by passing? Well, passing means you have to score at least 80%. So it's a fairly high bar. But remember, this is open note. You can have your book there, you can have your notes there, and so you should, as long as you've watched the video and understand this material, you should know what to go back and look at, and if you don't recall the answer right away. You have 4 days from the start of the quiz, which will start on the day indicated on the syllabus, to take the quiz. Now, that's true for most of the quizzes. Quizzes at the end of the semester, just because there's a shorter time period in the summer semester, 3 of these quizzes will have a shorter window of opportunity. So quiz 28 will only be available for 3 days, quiz 29 for 2 days, and the last quiz, you'll have 24 hours to get it done. So just be aware of that. So you may be thinking, wow, this is pretty tough. It's kind of a pass-fail for each of these quizzes, and I have to pass a certain number of them to get a grade. But here's the deal. For each of these quizzes, you have 3 shots at it. Okay? So if you fail a quiz for the first time, don't worry about it. You might need to go back and review some of that information, and you can actually review the questions that you got wrong so that you can potentially learn that information better. And then you will have a chance to take the quiz again. Now, when you take the quiz again, the quiz, I said it's 10 questions, but the bank that it's drawing questions from oftentimes has 30 questions in it. And so you will not get the same questions on repeated quizzes. But again, you get 3 chances for each of these quizzes. And so I think that you'll find is doable. So again, all the quizzes are open books, open notes. The only thing I do request is you work independently. Don't take these quizzes with someone else that's in the class. You have to work independently. Also, because I'm giving you a fairly good amount of time to take these quizzes, a pretty good open window of 4 days in most cases, you should have time to take those quizzes sometime in that period. Don't wait till the last minute, and if the quiz closes, that's it. I'm not going to open up quizzes for people. So again, the quizzes are going to determine the lecture portion of your grade. That counts for 3/4 of the total course grade. The remaining 1/4, 25%, is associated with your lab average. And so, yes, the lecture is going to be more important than the lab, but the lab counts a substantial amount, and so you need to make sure that you are taking care of that. So here's just an example of how you would calculate your complete course grade. Now, as far as the lab goes, I don't have any responsibilities associated with the lab, any workings with the lab. Work with your lab coordinator to know what those assignments are and what those assignments entail and when they're due. And if you have any questions about the lab, contact that individual. Okay, academic integrity, dishonesty, again. I'm being as flexible as possible. Everything is open notes. Just, again, don't work with someone else on these quizzes. Here is the course calendar. So on our first day, you need to watch this video. print off a copy of the syllabus or download it to your computer so that you'll have, especially this part right here is going to be very important. Take that syllabus quiz as soon as possible. Then also, within the next 4 days, starting today, it's available. Watch the first video, the introduction, take that quiz, and then watch the video on adaptive evolution and take that quiz. So there are 3 quizzes that are going to be due in the next 4 days starting today. All right. On the 18th, there will be another video to watch, and another quiz will open again for a 4-day window. So during a single day, there will be multiple quizzes that you could take, but each of them will open on a day and then be open for 4 days. And these the closing date will be listed on D2L in the calendar. Now, these topics are associated with hyperlinks, so that if you click on them, it will direct you to YouTube and that video. So it's really important to download this document so that you will have all of these links to the videos on YouTube. Again, if you just join my channel, then you'll also have access to all those videos already linked to them. Notice that in most cases, well, on this day we've got 2 topics in addition to the syllabus to cover. Most days we have a single video to watch. Now when you see that there's a period between topics, that means this is a video and that's a separate video, but they're associated with one quiz. Okay, so just be aware of that. So here's another situation where there's a video on circulation respiration, and then there's also a video on behavior, but the quiz will encompass material from each of those. All right, so pay very close attention to this at the end of the semester. But notice, it's all quizzes. There are no exams. There is no final exam. I have basically provided you the trough of knowledge, and you're the horse, and whether you drink from it or not is up to you. Okay, so you're all adults. You know what's expected of you, and hopefully you can keep up with this. But that is going to be really important. This is an 8-week class. Time is going to be of the essence, and you really can't waste too much time. So be sure not to get behind. Yes, you do have 4 days to take each of these, but don't wait till the last minute to do that. Especially toward the end of the semester, these things could put you in a bind. So don't let that happen. All right. Again, send me an email if you have any questions, and good luck this semester.